Hello, everyone. Welcome to my wellness journey podcast or broadcast that I will be doing somewhat on a weekly basis. Today, my format will take somewhat of a discussion for the first 30 minutes, and then I'm going to open up to questions and answers. And at that time, the guest will be welcome to come into the seat, but for the moment, that seat will remain locked. So my guest today is Leah Mintz. She is a professional health consultant who currently resides in California. And I will tell you a bit about how I met or came to meet Leah. I was on Blab one afternoon, just surfing and Blab hopping, I call it. And I met this young man who was doing some research online. So we started to talk. And he was very pleasant and personable. And he was also very knowledgeable about what I did, essential oils. And I started to explain to him, his name is Keith. And I started to explain to Keith about what I do. And he said, "Oh, my mom does something similar." And I said, "What?" And he talked to me about his knowledge of essential oils. And I was impressed. And then he said, "My mom would love to meet you." And I said, "I would love to meet her too." And we made the connection. And I was not disappointed. Leah is filled with knowledge and information about natural therapies. And I was so excited to meet her. I immediately invited her to be a guest on the show. So at this moment, I am going to ask my guest, Leah Mintz, to please tell us a bit about yourself. Leah, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Pamela, for the wonderful introduction. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you, and a warm hello to all of you tuned in today. I am originally from Canada, so in case you hear a little bit of an accent, that's where it's from. And then my husband's also Canadian, so after I met him over there, we won, believe it or not, the visa lottery. And it's not a money lottery, it's a visa to literally move to the United States. So I hear that you can see my background. It is sunny here. We live in sunny California. And after we resided here, we had 3 beautiful children, and now they're all Americans. So that's where I'm at with motherhood and being a house mom and a housewife. My first job here was as a teacher. I started teaching, and then I moved a little bit higher up the scale and became a principal for 2 different schools. They were private schools. But then it came to a point where I was realizing there's been so many people getting sick around me. My friends, my family, just people from all kinds of different areas of the world that I travel around, and I see there's just so many different health conditions out there. And some of my friends were so young. They were, single moms, some of them, stressed from raising their kids and from school. I found a lot of my own children even, they're getting stressed from trying to get into college and high school and getting through exams. A lot of my own friends were having knee surgery replacements and hip replacements. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? I really want to find out the root cause of why all this is happening. So here I go. I changed my profession now to becoming a healthcare practitioner. And from that, I just branched with all kinds of different things that I'm doing now. So right now at the moment, I'm a certified healthcare practitioner. And instead of teaching and running schools, I conduct health workshops and educate people on staying healthy in the most natural way.
Wow, that is awesome. I mean, I can't wait to hear more about the practice and what you've done. So I'm going to ask you to please go ahead and share with the audience your practice. What do you do?
Okay, well, thank you. So my practice is called Healthy Haven, and I work out of my home here in San Diego. So I really have a lot of equipment here. One of them is the infrared sauna, which is extremely therapeutic. It's not a wet sauna, but a dry sauna. It has light therapy that actually can open your chakras, help with circulation, detoxification. If you have pains, it goes right through the muscles and soothes that. It's just amazing. And it burns fat. One of the best things about it is you will definitely burn calories from just sitting around in it. I also have a Beamer 3000. It's a mat. It does not massage you. You're actually lying on the mat. And what it does is open the cells in your body. So as you may know, cancer cannot live where it's oxygen. Like if you've got a lot of oxygen in your body, you got a healthy body. But a lot of people don't breathe properly and they don't have good, clean oxygen in their body. So their cells are crunched together. This mat, by just lying on it for about 8 minutes, that's the minimum. You can go up to more if you want, but wow. 8 minutes will make a difference. And you lie on it and it will open all the cells in your body, preventing cancer. So it's a wonderful thing. So I have that. I have the scalar wave laser that you could apply laser light right on different ailments on your body, like different pain points, you could say. So we have the scalar wave, and then it also works with adrenal fatigue, which is wonderful. Then aside from that, I personally provide private consultations on nutrition, diet, detoxification. But my best modality is getting to the root cause of people's conditions. Why are these things happening? Now, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Releasing the emotions from their subconscious mind. Wow. That's the key to it. Releasing the emotions from the subconscious mind.
Wow, that is so interesting. I just wondered if anybody in our audience have ever heard of this therapy. And I'm looking at the comments coming in. So far, it seems like they are enjoying what they're hearing. But I wanted to know, do you use any essential oils or aromatherapy in your practice?
I do, but I'm going to explain to you before I even do that. I definitely do. I love oils. Wow. I want to explain to you in a nutshell how I get into the subconscious mind.
Oh, yes, definitely. Of course. Please tell us more.
This is the big secret. Is everybody listening to this? Okay. First of all, just know the subconscious mind is the blueprint to your entire body. It knows exactly what you're allergic to, why you're stressed out, why you have pains in certain areas. And it has 60 emotions that are literally buried in there. Negative ones. They're not good ones. They're ones that do not serve you at all. And we want to get them out of there. Okay. So for example, if you come to me and you're feeling stressed from school or a job, or you just lost your job, or you just lost a loved one, or you have a pain, your subconscious mind knows exactly what the reason is. And my job is to remove it from the subconscious mind by using a pendulum. I take a pendulum.
Great.
I take a pendulum and I read your subconscious mind with a pendulum. As soon as I find it, I remove it with a magnet that runs right over your governing meridian. Your governing meridian's right here. It goes right to the top of your head, down the back of your neck. It's quick, non-invasive, and best of all, permanent. And it's unbelievable how many people I've treated so far and removed pains on the spot, emotional baggage that they've had from stress, from divorces, from losing their jobs, financial blockages that they had. I was able to do it all. It was unbelievable. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And now you asked me about essential oils. My goodness, yes. First of all, I wanted to say that a lot of the ailments people have come from diet and poor nutrition. They either have the wrong food in their body or not eating the right food that should be in their body. So in my workshops, I discuss good oils, what oils to cook with, what oils to avoid. Coconut, for example, is one of the best oils out there right now for brain functioning, for hair, for skin, for all kinds of things. So I would definitely promote that. In addition to that, you can even use coconut oil on your scalp. And yes, it does all kinds of wonders for hair growth, just that alone. So ingesting it is good. And of course, putting it on you, on your skin, unbelievable how priceless that one is. And it's all natural, of course. That's the best part of it. So yes, I do promote oils. I personally use frankincense on myself every day. Love it. I put it on some nerve points, actually, if you know where the nerve points are. I like to put it right on the core of my stomach. And the reason is you carry a lot of anger in that area. Usually when people are stressed, their digestive system is poor because they're not digesting their food. Their muscles contract in their digestive tract, so they're not digesting properly. A lot of people complain they're constipated. It's obvious. It's in the stomach. So if you take a few drops of frankincense and put it over there, I find that's magical. I also like to use rose because I'm into trying to get my hair to grow healthy and stay soft, especially sometimes we have really humid weather here, dry heat. And rose is amazing for that. I put it on my scalp, sometimes even mix it with tea tree and just rub it in. And then I find over here, you could just put it directly on the hair and it just sucks it up. It really, really wants that. It needs that extra moisture. So rose is amazing for that. And my other favorite would be lavender. This day and age, everyone is so stressed. They can use the relaxing lavender that you just put sometimes on your wrist or on your neck, on your temples, right?
Amazing. You should say that. I don't mean to cut you off, but you're getting me excited now. You're going on to my therapy.
This is your department. You should know about the oils. These are great.
Of course. I was so happy to hear you mention the coconut oil because here in the Bahamas, we have tons of coconut, but nobody produces the coconut oil. Believe it or not, the coconut oils that I use are imported. There's one or two farmers or distillers in the Bahamas that do a coconut oil, but it's all on if you know the Bahamas, there's 700 islands, so it's kind of hard to get to her, to this lady that does it. And coconut oil, like you said, the skin, the hair, it works wonderfully. The other thing is creams. It's used to make facial creams to fight acne. Oh my gosh, there's so many things I can say about coconut oil itself. For the hair, it strengthens the hair and it gives it shine. So it's a popular thing in the Bahamas. I personally use it as a base oil when I'm mixing aromatherapy blends. And that can be for an assortment of ailments from headaches to blood pressure problems to fighting ADHD and all sorts of other ailments, just to name a few.
Right.
A question I have popped up in the chat box is, how do you use coconut oil for the hair? But let me just share this with you. The coconut oil it comes in a solid form, and if heated, it goes to a liquid. So in that solid form, you just rub it on the scalp, and it is wonderful. Right. For those of you who don't know, if you want to type a question, just type /Q and the question will show up and I'll be able to see it better on my left-hand side of my screen. But the other oil you mentioned was frankincense for the stomach. Let me tell you a bit about frankincense as far as I know. And I keep my little cue cards with me that shows you the frankincense. I'm happy you mentioned that you use frankincense for your stomach. Frankincense, as you know, has been around for thousands of years, and it's indigenous to the Middle East. And also there's this gum that is extracted from the small flowering plant, and it grows wild in Africa. The thing about frankincense most recently and most notably, there was a documentary by, I can't remember his name, but it's called The Truth About Cancer. And they talk about how frankincense is actually being used to fight cancer. Right. And that amazed me. That was just so amazing. Yep. I'm happy to hear that you use it in your personal life as well. So with the rose, another thing, Valentine's coming up, and people go and they spend thousands and thousands of dollars on roses. But guess what? I have a rose oil. I have a rose essential oil, and this is a rose perfume oil, but it's not the average one that is cut or synthetically blended. This rose oil comes in a roll-on, and I kid you not, if you were able to smell this today, it smells like you just cut a rose and you smell it. Wow. Right? That's how this smells right now. And what I do is, like you were talking about the points that you put it on. Yeah. That's exactly what I do. I roll it on. Right? And it smells just wonderful.
Yeah, they make great Valentine's gifts, like you were saying. If we can get that for Valentine's, anyone looking for someone out there, put that on and watch them walk your way.
Thanks for that plug. That is awesome. It is true.
Yeah.
And do you know the cost of roses for Valentine's usually goes up. The bottle of rose essential oil, I kid you not, it's very expensive because of the distillation method and the method of extracting. The oil comes from the petals, and it takes so many tons and tons of those petals to produce a bottle of the oil.
Wow.
So here, this is what I say to fellas who want to buy me roses. Don't. Because that dozen roses that you buy for Valentine's, they last about a week, week and a half tops. But if you bought a bottle of rose essential oil with that same $100, that will last you for about a year.
No way. That's amazing.
Yes way.
That's well worth just that alone. Wow, that's beautiful stuff. And you could carry it with you. I mean, wherever you go, like women just carry it in their pocket, their purse, wherever, you just roll it and keep on going. I love that. I love that.
Definitely, definitely. And the other thing you mentioned was lavender. And I would let you know that's like my third favorite essential oil.
Right.
And I'm so happy to hear that you use it as a part of your natural remedy.
Mm-hmm.
Lavender essential oil not only smells well, but the effect that it has on the mind, body, soul is awesome. It relaxes you. It's calming.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I could just get so excited about it. It's good for insomnia. Right. It releases tension, your nervous condition. It treats it automatically. And you don't have to take a pill. These essential oils are so potent.
Right.
They work by inhalation, or you can apply them topically, or in spritzers. You spray your room or spray your bed. Right. I even drop a few drops in the bath water if I'm really stressed.
Right.
And oil and water do not mix. So you never just put oil and water. So my trick that I use in my natural therapy is add some milk.
Milk?
Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yes, milk.
Wow.
Almond milk, whole milk.
Oh, there you go.
Skim milk. A cup or two to the warm bath water with the oil helps the oil water mixture to blend, and it goes directly to the bloodstream. It is so soothing and so relaxing. You have to try it yeah, you have to try it to get the full effect of it. Mm. Secondly, I just wanted to share one more thing before I ask you something about your what you're doing. The other thing about that is my all-time favorite preventative measure as far as a natural wellness regimen is using peppermint and eucalyptus.
Oh, I was thinking eucalyptus. You took it out of my mouth. I was thinking that. I thought, I wonder what about that one? Yeah. Tell me more about that. That's a good one.
Peppermint and eucalyptus, especially in the cold, or when the season changes, and that first impact of cold like I had. Mm-hmm. I use that peppermint when I'm realizing the weather is about to change. I just diffuse it in the room. So I would, as you breathe in those molecules, they immediately affect the respiratory system, and it prevents you from getting cold, sinus. It also kills bacteria. It's antifungal, antiviral. So you are doing a preventative treatment in your home before it gets bad, So I would recommend diffusing essential oils in your home or in your practice any day, any day. So now, Leah, now that I've run on about aromatherapy, please tell me about some testimonials where you use natural therapies and you've had great results, or your clients have had great results.
Well, thank you. First of all, I can't thank you enough for the tips you gave on the milk.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, that was new to me. So the testimonials, I must tell you, a lot of them, come in with physical pain. That's usually the main target, is physical pain that they come in with. Just a few weekends ago, I was asked to work at the Encinita Library. It's a library in our community. I had people lined up from 11 o'clock till 3 in the afternoon straight. Everyone came in with something. I gave them 10 minutes each free just to try out what I do. One gentleman came in with the worst pain. He was literally limping on the chair to get to sit beside me there. And after I removed it, he said 85% of his pain, after he was walking around the library for another 20 minutes, was gone. He said he couldn't believe it, because before he came to see me, he was doing acupunctures, acupressure, massages, treatments, oils, medicine, the whole bit. None of them worked. It was emotionally related. Could you believe that? That's all that was.
Wow.
I removed 3 or 4 layers under 10 minutes of some of the emotion baggage that he was carrying, and he walked around. Now, mind you, when he says 85%, that's within 20 minutes. Normally, it takes up to 48 hours for it to be completely no pain. So that was amazing for him. I had other people that were stressed with, a lot of the kids came in, and I wouldn't say kids, I'd say mostly college students and high school kids. They come to me, please remove the stress. I am so haunted by my exams, by my homework, by my assignments. That's all that was. And you know what? It's causing them physical pain. They're losing sleep. They got insomnia. You know, so your oils and my work go beautifully together, because they need both.
I think so. I really do think so. That is amazing, because I'm glad you mentioned pain, because I had an experience recently with a client. They had sciatic nerve pain. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a lower back pain.
I remove that. That's one of my things I remove. Sciatica is one of the number one thing. People can barely sit on their chair. Yeah, so it's
exactly. This lady was in terrible pain. She was almost to tears. The thing about it, she said she'd been to doctors and got pills, and she was almost, I don't know what to say, at wit's end. So I looked up in my reservoir of information, and sure enough, I found a blend for sciatic nerve pain. I was able to blend for her 3 essential oils along with a base oil. The base oil that I used was almond oil. I kid you not, within a week after using this therapy twice daily, rubbing the area where she felt the pain, she wrote me back and she said, Miss Gomez, thank you so much for that blend. She said, but can I get another bottle, please? I said, is it working? So she said, it's working fine. She says it's working better than my doctor's prescription.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Well, and now she only has a little bit of, perhaps because she lives on another island. So I didn't have the opportunity to see her after she had finished the first regimen. But I spoke with her and I said, yes, that sounds perfectly well. That sounds perfectly okay. So I sent her another bottle of the blend. Now, I love making blends for people, especially when they call me and they say, okay, it's working wonderfully and I'm seeing results. Then I ask them to please just go by my website and write me a tutorial so I could share it with other people that aromatherapy is really working, whether it be topical or by inhalation or by, just spritzing your room. So I was just so excited about.
That's a beautiful way to heal somebody. That's really impressive. I'm wondering, do you know much that the magnesium oil has been new in San Diego, and they just started bringing that out. I've seen them at some farmers markets, and I've been spraying that. Magnesium is supposed to be very, very good to ingest, usually before you go to bed. Some people have insomnia and can't sleep. They say take magnesium powder, but I'm noticing it was in oil form, and I'm spraying that. You could put it on pain parts, like certain sore spots in your body, but I spray it on my stomach. I noticed that really relaxes me as well. So,
well, I have not had any experience with magnesium oil. The thing about that, I know there's a magnesium vitamin that has been recommended to me,
right?
And I have not had that exposure to it as yet, but I sure will look into that.
Yeah. instead of,
that is something new. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say it's completely new here. So it doesn't
Oh,
surprise
it
me.
is.
Yeah, it's new here. So it's no surprise. It just kind of came out. I just happened to have seen it. It looks like water. It looks like water. It's completely clear. Yeah, so we'll keep a lookout for that. But it's supposed to help with all kinds of stuff, mostly pain related too. But it's almost I can't say instead of taking magnesium to help you sleep, but it's a way of putting magnesium in your, like you said, skin's an organ. So it goes into your bloodstream that way too. So that's another thing to look out for.
I'm going to ask everybody watching and listening to us to please tweet it out. Tell a friend so your friends could join us and get in on this information, because the information that Leah has shared has been wonderful. And the only way they'll catch this is in the replay, but I wish they could get it now while it's actually
well, it's hot.
spoken.
Get it while it's hot. It's out here now.
I have a question from Madison. I think it is. Madison is asking about my blend that I use for the oil. Madison, I'd love to share more with you about my oils, and I would ask you if you would just go by my website. I'm going to put it in the chat so that you can go by there and we can connect again on another level. And also, I'm going to ask Anna if you would type, you have a web page that you use?
Yeah, Keith is doing that right now.
Okay, great.
I have my right arm right over here. My son Keith is the one that got us started in all this, so he's going to
type that in.
Yeah.
Exactly, wonderful. So everybody can follow you to your website and see. They can get in touch with you and find out more about what you do there.
Well,
thank you so much, Laura, for sharing that on Twitter, and anyone else that may have done so, thank you too, that I may have missed. I also wanted to say to you, Anna, I also do a farmer's market where I make my lip balms and inhalers and other little trinkets made of essential oil that I go and sell from time to time. Do you ever participate in any like fairs or community events where you do?
Absolutely, because I sell salt lamps. I have the therapeutic Himalayan salt lamps. So people,
wow, I've heard of those.
Yes, they're amazing for Valentine's as well. It cleans the air, literally. I mean, you don't need an air filter. You keep that there and it'll collect the dust. Best of all, even beyond that, is they're therapeutic for reducing the EMFs in the air. So you're bombarded with computers, Wi-Fi's, your cell phones. People cannot sleep properly because half the time they're sleeping near a big screen TV or a computer, or, they got their cell phone right near their bed and it's not grounded with little Q discs that they should really keep on the phones as well. One of the things I discussed in my workshop. But if you have one of these lamps and you light them up and they sit with you, maybe Keith will get a lamp, and they sit there beside your bed, you don't have to sleep with the bulb in it. You can actually leave it on for 4 hours before you go to bed, turn it off. Some people love to sleep with the light on. They find it very relaxing. But if you sleep with it off, it's just as good. And it'll clean the air while you're sleeping, because the light already did its heat on the lamp, and now it's going to start to work for you. I had a woman that was in her mid-20s. She was taking a lot of medication for autism. Her dad emailed me back and said, you know what, ever since that lamp went in her room, she cut down her medication to half. It helped her sleep. It helped her function in the morning. This is the lamp right here. Can you plug it in? They look like this. They're beautiful, gorgeous Himalayan salt lamps.
I've seen those.
Yeah, Keith's going to plug it in. Keith's going to plug it in. Whoa, he's taking me with him while he's plugging it. There you go. See that? Ta-da.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
They're 100% Himalayan salt. Do you know what? We eat this. I don't eat the lamp, but I eat the
Yes,
salt.
I, I actually have some in my kitchen cabinet as we speak.
Oh, I love
I
the
do.
salt right there. Yeah, I'll show you the salt. This is, they're great. It's like Himalayan pink salt. So
I do. That's what I
we're up
use.
the same alley. I knew I would be best friends. This this is good stuff. It's good stuff. I carry it with me. You know what I tell? You know what I tell when I go to a restaurant? I say to the waitress, "Put no salt in my soup." So they have to make me a special soup with no salt. They think I'm nuts. They're like, "Oh, you're not gonna like the taste." I said, "Believe me, I'll like it better. I bring my own." You know, this is it right here. My kids get used to this too. It's like there's so many minerals in this. And again, these are one of the things I talk about in my health workshops. It'd be good oils, bad oils, which serve you, which don't, which fat you need in your body. You actually need fat. Coconut is a fat which needs to be in the body. You know, there's that olive oil. The other oils you want to stay away from are the ones that will literally toxic. It's not good for your food. They're not, they cannot resist the heat in the food. So those you want to stay away from, and mostly, as you know, vegetable oils and the sunflower oils. I stay away from all that. I teach in my health workshops about eating gluten-free foods. I emphasize why. It's just a foreign substance in the body. The body just cannot digest it. And GMOs, stay away from anything that's, you know, GMO related. So these are just some of the topics I talk about, but we're so up the same alley with what we're saying.
Yes. I was so impressed with all that you do, and I'm sure that the information shared today was and is appreciated by those who are listening and those who will watch the replay.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I am just so delighted that you did accept my invitation to come on. And I can't believe how the time is flying by. It's now more than a half an hour is gone, and I was supposed to open up the seat at a half an hour so that if we had any questions, we could field the questions. But if anybody has a question, I'm about to open up the seat. Feel free to jump in and ask myself or Leah a question. But I'm going to say to you, there are some remedies and recipes that we use that we don't wish to put in a public domain because it's our trade secret. So if you'd like to know more about what we do, the therapies that we do in that regard, please contact us offline and we'd be willing to share. But when I open up the seat now, feel free to come in. We'd love to see you, and we'd like to, you know, just answer some of your questions that you may have for either myself or Leah. And we just like to share a bit more about what we do and the benefits. And oh my gosh,
and there's so much out there to know. Yeah,
aromatherapy and natural therapies for wellness, and this can benefit your family, the entire family. You should put the websites as a question. So it's going to be seen. Yes, thank you so much. I will do that. My website and Leah's website, I will put up so that it shows. And yeah, that is awesome. So Leah, you say you practice from home.
Right.
If there's someone in the UK or like my friend in Russia who wants to know more about some of your therapies, would it be okay for her to contact you on the website? And is there a way that she could talk with you, perhaps on Skype or?
Absolutely. We have Skype. We have Skype. I'm very good with phone plans. I got great phone plans all around the world. I got lots of family in Canada and Europe, so I can call them too. It's not a problem. We can have a phone consultation. I do speak a lot to people. You know, there has been local ones, but yes, there's been many that, you know, even in Canada ask me, you know, what's going on with me? You know, my diet is doing this and that to my body, and I can consult them and guide them properly. I offer a lot of 21st century information. A lot of what I advise is not your typical that you find in a book. So I believe I've gotten through to a lot of people and helped a lot of people just by changing their diet around or changing their sleep patterns around. I believe in epigenetics. There's no such thing as oh, someone coming to me and saying, oh, it runs in my family, it's in my genes. You know what? Guess what? These days, you can change your genes. You have control of your own genes. It's called change your environment, diminish your stress, which is probably the biggest killer for most people right now. That leads to a lot of physical baggage. I am actually able to do a proxy. A proxy means I can release emotions to somebody else that does not exactly live here. I will tell you now, I don't specialize in it. I'd rather see the person and have them see the results while it's happening, while I'm doing it. So the ones that do live in San Diego get that bonus, but it's not like it's impossible. I could try it. If they see results, that's fine. And they may. And I have done my mom, actually, she's living in Canada, and this is an unbelievable story. My mom lives in Canada, and she's got this condition where her voice is all cracked up. So I thought, you know what, I released all the emotions that were related to that. Then I went into the body code. The body code is after you release 85% of the emotions, there's going to be other stuff that might take place. So I went into her voice area, and I found a bone that was in the rib cage, because I have my body codes like that thick. It says every bone in your body, every bone in your brain, your head, your knee, your joint, your everything, like a doctor would. I went in there and I said to her, Mom, you know what? Your whatever that was bone is completely off, and it's affecting the air going up. Wow. She said, no way, let me write this down. So she wrote the bone. She went back to her doctor, and her doctor just finished taking x-rays and said, that is unbelievable. That's exactly what we found on an x-ray. She was flawed by it. So I told her what to do. There were certain exercises you can do to get the air circulating, but it was a lot emotionally related. She's sounding a lot better and feeling a lot better. And I did it through the form of a proxy. Proxy means I become her. I make my subconscious work as though it's her. There's a way to do it. I know how. Again, I'm not crazy about using that modality because I don't think I can do it that great, but I have done it, and it has worked apparently with her. So her doctor was like, I can't believe your daughter found this in another country, you know, exactly what we found in an x-ray there. So again, if people call me, we can always start by, you know, seeing what it is they need and taking it from there. But there's a cure for everything, I believe.
I do too. I do too. I truly believe that as well. Leah, it's almost 4 o'clock, and I can't believe how quickly this time is going by.
Yeah.
It's just so enlightening to know that I can share with someone with like minds, you know, and such natural therapies that I support wholeheartedly. I got to tell you a little story about how I got into my essential oil business. My mom died of cancer in 1994.
I'm sorry.
During that's okay. You know, I feel really good about where she's at right now. Oh, yeah. During her treatments, she decided that she was going to do a natural therapy. My mom was a nurse, and as a nurse, she diagnosed people's ailments and problems. And she diagnosed herself. She was able to tell us. She sat us down and she said, I have something to tell you. This is what I think. No, she said, you know it is. And she said, the way she's going to treat this is with natural therapy, because she did not support radiation and chemotherapy. But of course, I went off the rocker, because as a young person then, my thoughts was the only treatment is radiation and chemotherapy. Well, my mom lasted a year to the date almost on natural therapies. Strictly, she went no radiation, no chemotherapy, all natural, eating habit changed, everything, right? So after she passed, I went into a panic, because people say if someone dies close to you with cancer, chances are you get cancer too. So they had to tell me, calm down. Well, I went into research mode and I started studying. Everything I learned about aromatherapy and essential oils was initially negative. Those oils are poisonous. Don't touch them. Don't use them. They'll never help you. They'll, you know, be more harmful than good. And I said, that's enough reason for me to do more research. Because there's going to be so much negative press about that somebody's trying to suppress something. Right. So I went after it. I found out about frankincense in the treatment of cancer.
Mm.
I found out about sciatic nerve pain treatment. I found out about mental focus, stress reduction, anxiety, and depression treatment that was working. I
Mm.
also found hospitals and nursing facilities that use essential oils and are seeing results.
Mm.
So, what did that say to me? Somebody's trying to suppress some information here.
Right,
Okay.
right. Well, it's
So,
not a
I
money maker for them. As you know, it's not a money maker. They're looking anything that's natural, they can't make money from. We could, it's a given. That's just where we're at right now. So I'm really glad you discovered that, because you just branched a whole bunch of new people with new health
exactly.
treatments, which is wonderful.
And there's so, like right now, there's this, what's the virus called? The mosquito-borne virus that's now
Oh,
being
on the news. Yes. Starts
yes.
with,
I'm
I know
saying to
you're
people, Zika, use the
yeah.
essential oil. Use it as a mosquito repellent. Use
There
it as a preventative measure to ward off these the bacteria, the disease, what
right,
have you.
right.
But the word is not getting out. People are not realizing that you have something that is within hand's reach that can also be used to treat these things.
Right.
There's mosquito repellents. There's so much you could do with essential oils that are at just, I mean, within hand's reach, and you can save money because it's not the price that the pharmaceutical guy will charge you for getting the same solution or the same result.
Right.
So
you were saying about chemo. You were saying about chemo and radiation. I heard on one doctor's show, literally a medical doctor came on. He said he had a quota of $850,000 a year that he needed to make as a quota to tell people to go take chemo. I mean, it's a given. It's a given, and we all know. And then I had several in-laws that passed away from cancer as well, so I can see where you're coming from with this. But they were told, don't eat greens, don't eat too many greens, because it'll have a side effect on the medication and radiation.
That's quite the opposite. That is quite the opposite.
Exactly. So the key to cancer and diabetes, the real solution, the real solution for cancer and all that is to take the bad out and to put the good in. Your body has that disease because it's full of toxins. And I would say negative emotions are toxins. That's a given.
Yes, I would agree.
There's bad foods, there's stuff that you put in, you ingested, the air's not clean either. So all that stuff, if you detoxify your body, let all the garbage out in every which way and put the good in with the oils and with the diet and with the food. And again, I stress getting rid of that negative baggage. You know, I want to tell you another little thing. I noticed a lot of women that have, that are divorced end up with breast cancer. Also, if they lose a loved one, like if they lost a child, because if you think about it, you have a child and you're nurturing them by breast milk. That breast is no longer healthy, right? So they end up with cancer. Also, to the women out there and to the men, I should stress as well, don't use antiperspirants, please. I've worked on so many people in hospitals that had aluminum in them that I was removing. There's natural stuff for that too. There's natural deodorants, aluminum-free deodorants. It goes right into your skin again, which is an organ, into your pores. You're blocking the perspiration, which causes toxins, period. You know, it's that simple. And they come to me and they're like, I didn't know that you needed aluminum. I'm like, yeah, go to your natural health food places. And then, believe me, they smell good. There's lavender deodorants. There's tea deodorants. There's cypress, beautiful ones for men. Cypress, men love the cypress one. You know,
I actually make them. I can actually make homemade deodorants, perfumes. Yes.
There you go.
Anna, there's one more thing before you go. There's something I need you to share with my audience. The story you told me about Lyme disease. That was so moving. Can you share that with us, please?
Well, Lyme's was basically a woman came in and she had Lyme's. It was all emotional. it was completely emotional from A to Z. She had a few toxins, I must say, as well. Actually, now that I think about it, we removed that, and then I had to change her diet around as well. Understand that sugar, carbs convert to sugar. So you've got to watch what you put in your mouth, because when it goes into the gut, it goes into the bloodstream. That's it. It's like one big kaboom volcano. It'll go, you have to watch what you put in your mouth. So after I removed the baggage of her, whatever she came with, and we got rid of that, then we went into the body code, and I started to modify it with my first practice, which was consultation. And consultation is, what is this person eating? Who are they living with? What is their lifestyle? What is their stress level? We did a major modification on that, and she's completely Lyme free. So
that is awesome. That's an awesome story. And a number of people don't know that they can actually be cured of Lyme disease.
And shingles. And shingles. Shingles is wicked.
Yes.
My dad had shingles. He was taking seven painkillers every single morning. He said it's like his hand went on a fire flame, burning. That's how much he felt from the shingles. It was at the worst stage he can have. Do you know what? That was all emotionally related. And then I found out that his dad had it, because when I do this work, I can go into old inheritance to see if a relative has it. Now, not to say, like I said before, that you carry your genes. You don't. He carried his dad's emotions. He wasn't carrying his dad's genes. He was carrying his dad's emotions. So the emotions that his dad was feeling were similar to my father. And I was able to remove his deceased dad's emotions and my dad's emotions. The next morning, my dad called me. He said, instead of 7 painkillers, he was down to 1.
Wow.
And that was after years of creams, therapy, and a lot of agony. So
wow.
These are some of the things, when you get into that subconscious mind, I tell you, I remove allergies. I can easily tell you what you're allergic to, and allergies are emotional. They're emotional.
Wow.
So most of the time, but I can detect what is emotional and what's not. That's the good thing. When I go into the subconscious here, I'll figure out what it is we're dealing with, and then go from there.
Anna, I just have to say thank you so much. You really made this show a wonderful show today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I have to give you big props for taking time from your busy schedule to sit with me for this hour. And I know there's someone I have to thank who is behind the scenes. That is Keith, who's working for us, watching.
He's working to get his name off of there and put mine up there. We're working on that.
Next show, the next time you're with me, it will be your name. We know he had to set your account up today, but that's quite all right. It was wonderful having you with me.
Thank you.
Any last words for my audience? For instance, how they could reach you. I still have your.
Yes. So Keith is going to send you how to get on there. Keith, are you going to take care of that, or do you want? Basically, it's like us on Facebook. He said to stay updated. Healthy Haven. It's on the webpage. It's on our webpage, and you can just we can contact each other any which way, shape, or form. Once you get on that webpage, I make phone calls to people, and hopefully, if anyone lives in San Diego, please come see me. I'm actually having a workshop this coming Thursday. It's an introductory health workshop on how to detoxify your body, protect yourself from the EMFs, things you could put on your cell phones. It's an unbelievable workshop. People that come cannot get enough of these 90 minutes and how much they'll learn in those 90 minutes. And we're going to promote oils, as we always do, because those oils are unbelievably essential. People that go in the hospital, I had a nurse go in and she said she brought in oils to the hospital to get rid of pains. So it's got to be done. It's a really fast, non-invasive, beautiful way to heal. So.
Well, I thank you so much. Our natural aromatherapy, thank you so much. And my newly formed Journey to Wellness community that I'm forming will be thanking you, because I'm sure they'll be reaching out to you. That's a little hint there. I'm starting a community called Journey to Wellness. I haven't launched it officially yet, but the launch date is coming up. And I will be building a community of persons who are trying to achieve natural health and wellness the natural way. More information will be on my website, which is onaturalaromatherapy.com. And if you reach out to me, we can also do consultations via the website, or we can do, via Skype or Google Hangouts. That way I will share recipes. And I know there was a lady who asked me about a recipe earlier. I really don't want to make it a public recipe right now, but I would gladly share it with you offline. I think it was Madison. Yes, Madison. So please reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you some more after the show. And again, it's Pam Gomez with Journey to Wellness signing off for today. Thank you.